Hello everyone, I hope you're doing good. So today I have to teach you how to cut the trouser from step by step. So I'll show you a measurement there on the screen. These are the measurements that we'll be using to cut the trouser. So everything that we need is scissors, we have our tape measure and a ruler, and we have our chalk. So let us begin. So first things first, you have to do is draw the straight line at the top of the material, at the edge of the material at the top. You draw your straight line. Now that's where you begin your work. So now the things that you have to do is that make sure that that's where you start placing your tape measure, where the number one is. The only thing that we have to start is measuring the length of the trouser. So the length of the trouser, as you can see, is 38 inches. Now you mark your 38 inches, then you add 2.5 inches for the folding, or the allowance for the folding. Still you do the same thing, put where the one is, and then the reason why we are removing 1 inches at the top is the extra waistband, where when you put the waistband, that's why we're removing 1 inch. Now from the top of the tape measure, at the edge of the tape measure, you measure the half of the length of the trouser, which is 38 divided by 2, that is 19. That's where you get your knee line. Now after marking your knee line, you mark your crotch line. And how do you get your crotch line? Is waist divided by 4, and then you add 2.5 inches. So our waist was 38 divided by 4, that is 19 and 9.5, plus 2.5, that is 11.5. That's how now you get your crotch line. So our crotch line will be 11.5. You mark your crotch line. Now after that, now we have to mark our knee line, our hip line. And how do we get our hip line? It is where the crotch line is, you go up with 3 inches. That's how we get our our hip line. Then after you are done with everything, you extend your lines. Extend your lines just like that. After extending your line, you go down with half inches so that you can make sure your lines are not straight. They are After that, at the edge of the material, you drew your straight line. That's why now you start putting your measurements. So at the line of where the line is for the hips, you mark your hips. That is 44 divided by 4. That is 11. Then you mark the half of the hips. That is 11 divided by 2. That is 5.5. After marking your 5.5, you take it down 5.5. Mark another 5.5 at the knee line. Then you mark 5.5 at the ankle line or the bottom line. Then after that, you join those lines, and still you have to mark 5.5 at the waistline. It's like that. And then after that, you join a very straight line. This 5.5 to help you draw your straight line, just like that. Now that line is make sure that your trouser is very it's doing very good for the when the customer is wearing it. Now you start putting your measurements. So at the bottom line we had 14 divided by 2, that is 7. Then 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. You mark 3.5 out on the outside and 3.5 on the outside, just the way I've done it. So it's half by half. So our knee was 17 divided by 2, that was 8.5. And 8.5 divided by 2, that is 4.25. So 4.25 this side and that side. You're done with your knee. Now for the for the thigh, you measure your 2 inches at that mark. From that mark you measure your 12. That is, the thigh was 24. 24 divided by 2, that is 12. Now you mark exactly 12 over there. Now from that you make sure you draw your straight line from the hips to the waist. You draw your straight line. You join all the lines like that. Make sure that line is very straight. Now after that, from bottom where you have marked, you join your line to where the nail is, and then from knee you join where that line to. You draw your line like that. You join those marks. You join that mark to that one like that, and make sure that you go out with a half inch to help you when you are folding your trouser. Make it easy when you then join this line to that mark, I mean, just like that. And you can see that it is looking so, it's not curvy, it's very sharp. So the only thing that you have to do is make sure that you do you a very nice curve. And if you have your French curve ruler, it will make everything so easy for you. So because I don't have that ruler, I do my curve with my hands like that to make it look very curvy, not look so sharp. Yeah, now you're done with your bottom. Now after that you you place your waist measurements, that is 38 divided by 4, that is 9.5. 9.5 divided by 2, that is 4.75. You place your measurement over there. After you're done with your waist, you mark the half from waist to your hip line. Then you curve just like that. But if you have your curved ruler, it will make your work so easy. Then from there you curve your fly or your crotch. Join your crotch to your waist, to your hips, and then you curve like that. Now after there, you have to slant your front part, and where you slant with 1.25 inches, just like that. Then you draw your line from that point to that point. You draw like that. But mostly we don't draw with our straight ruler. We always use our curved ruler to make your work so smart, so clean, and very accurate. Now you're done doing your front part. You can now cut very carefully make sure that you cut a very nice cutting like that. So this part we have to learn just about we have done about the front part, how to cut your front part. If you have any question, you can ask. So the other part we'll be learning about how to cut the back part. So if you have understand about the front part, be ready to learn about the back part. Let us meet next time. Goodbye.